In this video, we are going to review the Gold Mana MT5 Expert Advisor by Mr. Dilwyn Ting. Stick around to the end to see if this is a real trading system or just another MT5 scam. So, going through the description here, we can see that this EA is described as a legitimate, non-cheating trading system with no history reader, no grid, no martingale, and a few really interesting parameters and features of it is he's describing the strategy as being based on breakouts at critical levels, and having a fixed stop loss and a trailing stop loss for each trade. That's actually quite interesting because this is a proven approach to gold. I've actually personally developed a system which has some similarities to this called the Golden Sniper, and just based on my own experience, I have found that trading breakouts of support and resistance for gold can be actually an extremely effective strategy. And another strategy in the MT5 marketplace called the Gold Reaper and Gold Trade Pro are both based on a similar premise. So this actually seems very exciting and looking forward to diving into it. So here we can see that in terms of setup, it just says that this works with good low spread brokers, and nothing in particular stands out here. So let's move over to the signal, and we can see on the signal page, interestingly enough, this appears to be a non-perfect equity curve, which is actually a really good sign. And if we look here, lot size also appears to be consistent, which is also, frankly, an extremely good sign. One thing which will stand out is that the losses are significantly larger than the profits. This is relatively common with scalping systems, so nothing to be particularly alarmed by. And another interesting fact is that the profit trades seem to vary pretty significantly. We have one here which is at $13, whereas we have some where it's at 70 cents. This, in my mind, would indicate the presence of a dynamic stop loss. So likely, the trailing stop loss is based on some degree of ATR multiple or some sort of multiplier based on the current range of the market. So far, all of this is looking pretty good. Let's move over to the MetaTrader terminal to actually run a backtest and see if this strategy appears to be legitimate. Here you can see that I've taken the liberty of downloading the Expert Advisor already from the marketplace, and let's just quickly go through the Inputs tab to see if it provides any more indication about the strategy. We can see here that it's working based on pending orders, buy and sells. There's also indications regarding trailing stop factor and trailing stop losses. And interesting. So a few different GM run 5. That's actually quite interesting. Perhaps it's running on different time frames or perhaps at different times of the day. But they all seem to be relatively similar systems, which are based largely on some degree of breakout, likely at support and resistance levels, with a trailing stop loss. There's also a few filters down here for days of week, as well as some prop firm specific filters, including daily equity drawdowns. So let me run a quick backtest and we can then continue our journey. Okay, the backtest has now completed and we can see the following equity curve in front of us. As you can see, the equity curve is looking relatively mediocre, with the majority of the period being flat and with only the past year really seeing solid gains. Looking at the backtest results in more detail, we can see that the win rate is very high at approximately 88%, but the risk reward is really quite bad. There's nothing necessarily wrong at all with having a significantly greater average losing trade than winning trade. Many of our scalping systems at Prosperity Algo and most scalping systems in general tend to have an inverse risk reward. However, here Because it's roughly a 1 to 10 or 1 to 9 risk reward, the win rate needs to be higher than this to have a more sustainable system. If we contrast the equity curve here with the equity curves which they showed on their sales page, the difference becomes quite apparent. It's not nearly as good as what they're showcasing. And the reason for that is very simple. In their backtest, if you watch this short video, you can see they're using open high-low close data on the 1 minute bar. Whereas this backtest, which I just ran, is instead based on every tick based on real ticks. As this is a scalping system, every tick based on real ticks is really the only backtesting method that I would trust, as it takes into account spreads. Open high-low close simply does not, which often leads to inaccurate backtest results. Looking at this equity curve, it's not horrible, but given the price of this expert advisor at $1,000, it's simply overpriced. This is not really all that novel of a system. There's significant competitors in the market which will offer you a far better equity curve at a significantly lower price. Let me show you an example of that. So I just wanted to contrast the Gold Mana with a different system, which is based on a similar premise. That system is the Golden Sniper, an expert advisor developed by us here at Prosperity Algo Solutions. This system is also based on scalping of key support and resistance levels on gold. As you can see, the backtest was run on the exact same period, using the exact same initial deposit, and every tick based on real ticks. So it is a very precise and accurate backtest. Opening up the backtest data, this is where we start to see some pretty significant differences emerge. In the Gold Mana, it made roughly $3,000 in profits over the entire backtest period when running a truly accurate backtest. Here, the Golden Sniper made roughly $30,000. And I'm showing this beyond just being a shameless plug because I think that it demonstrates that when using this type of system, you shouldn't settle for an $1,000 mediocre system when there's simply far better options on the market. Specifically, our Golden Sniper being our most premium bot, you can still license for only $100 a month. And it's a very reasonable system that offers excellent results. In the following short clip, I will show you another system that you can try out to see what Prosperity Algo is all about. I look forward to hearing your feedback in the comments. Take care. Before you click away, if you're looking to get a real expert advisor, here at Prosperity Algo Solutions, we're currently offering our Golden Time Bomb system based on automating the London breakout and opening range breakout 100% for free. Watch the pinned video to find out more and to get access.